Okay, so this is a casual narration of the road trip that I took with my oldest brother Kurt on January 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, I guess it was, of 2020. On day one, we met at our dad's to load up some stuff, tools and a workbench and some other things, and put them in a truck and headed up for Kurt's in Port St. Lucie. On the way to the house, we grabbed some KFC, loaded the stuff in, ate, and when you headed out to Shay's Pub, they had karaoke night. Anyway, Shay's Pub would have been cool regardless of what was going on. Then we went back to Kurt's and played some Star Trek Seen It. On day two, we got up and headed out from Kurt's house in the morning, headed to Sebring. Now, just a quick note about the maps that I'm using. I had no maps or addresses when we made this trip. I was just following Kurt the whole way, and so the maps that I'm showing show the destinations, but I don't know that we took the route that is shown on the maps here. But it's better than nothing. It at least gives an idea of where we went and the distances and roughly the track that we took to get there. We got into Sebring and stopped at the Sebring Diner and had brunch there or whatever. I had breakfast. I guess Kurt had lunch. And then we headed to the Dade Battlefield. We went through some really gorgeous wooded country roads on the way to the Dade Battlefield. It was really pretty riding, and the weather was amazing. It was just cool enough and sunny and a little breezy. It was really nice. Got to the Dade Battlefield and checked that out, and that was very cool. Went inside and saw what they had in terms of displays and all that, and the grounds where the battle actually took place. We left there and headed for the hotel. Got a smoking room, which was amazing. I didn't even know they existed anymore. Anyway, and we walked across the street to Burger King and got some food and took it back to the room and hung out and put on some Turner Classic Movies. Watched Treasure of the Sierra Madre with Bogart.
Batches. We ain't got no batches.
And a couple of Bob Hope and Bing Crosby movies. I think there were Road to Morocco and Road to Utopia. And sit around and play gin rummy. So it was a fun, laid-back night, and yeah, it was cool. Day 3, we headed out from the hotel and hit a gas station. Fueled up and then motored over into a space at the convenience store. And when we were done in the store, Kurt's bike wouldn't start. So we tried jumping it from my bike, but it would not start. So luckily there was an auto parts store within visual range of where we were. So Kurt hopped on my bike and cruised down to the store and got a new battery. So that was lucky. It was weird, but it was lucky. So anyway, we got on our way. We headed to the Follow That Dream Parkway over on the West Coast. And that was where scenes from the Elvis movie Follow That Dream were filmed. We headed up to the Gainesville area and visited the Marjorie Kennan Rawlings Historic State Park. That was really neat. Walked around the grounds and checked out the house and everything, and the other structures there. After that, we headed to the Yearling restaurant for lunch. They specialize in game meats, and they have alligator and venison and all this other stuff. A really rich, dark, old down-home country Florida air. It's really a cool place. But really down to earth in many ways, but in a good way. It was cool, and tons of books. So it was really an interesting vibe. The whole place was just a really cool vibe. Anyway, after eating at the Yearling, we headed for home. When we left there, I noticed my charger wasn't working, on my handlebars. So we pulled over. It seemed like I blew a fuse, probably when we were trying to jump Kurt's bike. But anyway, so then he headed out and got some fuses and replaced it and got back on the road. We came down through the Ocala National Forest, and now we're really just trying to put some highway miles down. And that was good for me to, just stretch it out and go for the long haul. So yeah. So the saying is that all roads lead to Shays, and that seems to we seem to have borne that out, because that's where we ended up, going straight from the highway to Shays. So they had karaoke again, and we had a great time. Hung out, I did some singing, and just had a good time. And then we headed back to Kurt's, and then he killed me again in Star Trek Scene It. And so it was a great time overall. Really, really good time. And I headed home the next morning.
Gets restless, time to move along.